So, Bejeweled. The first Bejeweled is very straightforward. Like, you just need to clear stuff and that's it. Alright. Like, it doesn't have any progress mode like the previous one. I don't know if it's too loud. I mean, I could lower it a little bit just in case. But yeah, let's see. I don't even know if there are special jewels in this game. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had the chance to form a special jewel either, so... If there is, I don't know. Okay, no, because I formed 4 there and I didn't get anything, so... This is just extremely classic. It's pretty much... yeah. It is what it is. Poor man Candy Crush? That's a very offensive thing to say. I feel like that's a crime punishable by the Interpol. Also, you know that... I heard that term a lot, Interpol, and I never really bothered to check what it is. It's supposed to be international police, or does it mean something else? Because I know it's an organism that usually deals with terrorists, like most wanted terrorists. But I don't know if it's a shorthand for international police or if it's supposed to mean something else. I really never bothered to check. Oh, we're going to level 2. International polar bears, then. I can't believe that polar bears are good enough to deal with terrorists. Yeah, how is it going up anchor? Yeah. Well, something that I heard about the Interpol is that apparently the Venezuelan's president is now targeted by the Interpol. That's pretty funny. But yeah. It happens. I mean, the whole situation over there is very complicated. How am I? I'm pretty nice. I was able to beat the story mode in the story mode and the puzzle mode in a Game Boy puzzle bubble. It's just that it's a game that it's very... It's not really a game that you have much of a reason to play, with the fact that better puzzle bubbles exist, but hey, it's one of those things that I guess it's nice to experience at least once, you know? Just one of those things. But yeah. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah. Now I'm playing Bejeweled to keep the PopCap tradition, obviously. But yeah, this Bejeweled, as you can see, it's very basic. It doesn't have any sort of special jewel or any special mode either. It's basically you just clear infinitely. So at least the levels are numbered, so I guess you can set a target to reach, like, I don't know, level 10 or whatever. I personally don't know how far I could get, and I don't really know what strategy you have in order to avoid game overing. So in this game you game over when there are no more valid movements left. but in a game that doesn't have any sort of special jewels, I don't think you have any way to guarantee you're not gonna run out of moves. Because in a game like Bejeweled 3, for example, the way you have of not running out of moves, or at least one of the ways, is by always having one of those multicolor squares that can be exchanged with any jewel. At least by doing that, you are absolutely sure you are not gonna run out of jewels. But yeah, well, right there I did a combination of 5 jewels and I didn't get the square, so yeah. I guess we don't need any more confirmation that the special jewels are non-existent in this game. They are just not a thing. But yeah, at least with this you can see the evolution of the Bejeweled series, right? It's a nice way of seeing it. But yeah. Personally think that that you probably want to at least start with the Bejeweled games that have more than just the endless mode. If I'm not mistaken, this game was released in 2001, so I guess for what it is, it's already, quite good for what it does. I mean, it's the typical game that you're supposed to play when you are on break on an office, it's the typical game. Or if you, I don't know, you are a very bored housewife, maybe, something like that. But yeah, aside from that, I don't think it's a game that you will seriously get involved with. There isn't much to it. There really isn't much to it. But that's okay. There doesn't have to have that much to it. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, the size of this game is something like 5 megabytes. Like, there are images that I'm looking on the internet for my fan game that are bigger than this game. Like some PNGs that are like 7 megabytes that are bigger than this game. Can you believe that? But yeah, that's what happened when you have a mostly uncompressed image. An optimized game. Wait until you hear about the competitive World Bejeweled Championship. Well, I mean, the problem is that having something competitive on a game with this insane amount of RNG doesn't seem like a game with a lot of competitive integrity. Because, for example, a game like Tetris, while it does have RNG, well, okay, maybe you could say that if both players have the same seed, that it wouldn't be that different from Tetris in terms of RNG. But in this game, unless there are some hidden techniques I don't know about, there's not really much you can do in terms of, manipulating the RNG, right? Because, I mean, in Tetris you also don't manipulate the RNG, but you can prepare yourself for bad situations. In this one, I don't think it's that straightforward, But yeah, not like I'm an expert at this game, so I wouldn't know. another interesting thing is how these very old games usually have they have a score system with a very low score. Nowadays, so many games blow the score, though it doesn't have anything to do with being old or not, because, for example, there are shoot 'em ups that are older than this game that have score in like the 1,000 million, so it doesn't have to do with with when it was released, but yeah, rather what the developers wanted. Well, Columns is also pretty similar to this. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Columns was an inspiration to this game. Though it's a very different game, but I mean that it's a match 3 game with also very low score. And a very similar like a very similar feel in terms of the music and in terms of the overall graphics, and well, more importantly, and the thing that makes it the most similar to Columns is that they both use jewels. So yeah, this game was most likely inspired by Columns. And Columns before Columns 3 was also a game where the main goal was just playing endlessly to see how high your score could be. It wasn't about beating anything, right? In Blazefield you win a round and you get a 200 billion bonus. Yeah, it happens. Some fighting games can also be quite ridiculous in terms of score. It is to be expected. But yeah. It is the way it is. But yeah, as you can see, I'm in level 6 and yet I only have like 10,000 score. I don't know if it's match or not. In fact, I don't know what the top scores in this game are, because I'm not talking about worldwide, I'm talking about the default top scores that the game has at the beginning when you barely have played it. I have no idea how many it might or might not have. Who knows? I don't. Basically seeing these PopCap games on Steam, and when I'm about to click the install button, I see how small they are in bytes, and it's just crazy, dude. Because pretty much all of these PopCap games that I've been playing are some of the most iconic PC games there are. And with how iconic they are, they only took less than 50 megabytes to be this iconic. And this one even less than 5 megabytes. Like, you really don't need. Like, I understand that a lot of games go for graphics, and if you have high definition textures and whatnot, you need the space for that. But like, you don't need something like that to make a good game. And I guess the best example in terms of a recent example is Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors is a game that is very small in size, and it's a game that it inspired a lot of other people to make copycats of that game, just like Bejeweled did, and just like well, other PopCap games did. That's the thing. You don't need to have state-of-the-art graphics to make it big. Obviously, you need to have a lot of creativity and also a lot of luck that a big streamer plays it. Because we're talking that nowadays, that's the way that games get spread. Back then it was mostly through more traditional advertising. But nowadays you gotta get lucky that a big streamer plays them. But yeah, well, gotta get lucky or pay. You don't need to rely on luck when you have the green, and I'm not talking about wheel particularly. When you have those fat bills, that's the time where luck might not be that needed. But yeah, if you want to create a classic like that, you do need to have some creativity, and it's not easy. Because a lot of people usually, especially when it comes to all sorts of developers, I wouldn't just say indie developers, they usually follow a formula that already exists and already works, especially in cases with franchises that are, you know, newer entries of an older franchise, right? But for example, indie games that a small group of people or maybe even a single person does, they usually do stuff like, you know, Metroidvanias, or I don't know, the games that try to copy games like this one that are quick puzzle games. Match 3. Match 3, I guess, is one of those that you will see Steam having a lot of Match 3 clones. But that's not precisely because Match 3 is something that a lot of people extremely love, but it's because it's simple enough to justify releasing a game that in reality is just porn. Hey, if you wanna release it on Steam, you need the excuse to treat it like a game. So the easiest thing you can do is a Match 3 game, since it's easy to do. And it's also easy to play, and more importantly even, you can play it with only one hand. Really revolutionizing stuff indeed. So yeah. It's not very easy for indie developers to come up with super original ideas. You have cases like, for example, Undertale, where all the time the game is quite original. Because you can say that it takes inspiration from Mother and also from shoot 'em ups and you know, whatever. But I don't think many games did that specific combination of stuff before. You know, like, you cannot point at a single game when you're trying to describe Undertale. Like, obviously the first one you will mention is Mother, but aside from that, it's not the only thing. Because if you go and play Mother is a game that it's a turn-based RPG with some quirks in the gameplay, but it doesn't have anything shoot 'em up related, for example. Just wanted to say, you said Undertale right after an Undertale reference in a fun game I was playing. Are you playing I Wanna Stop the Heartbeats? Though there are a lot of fun games that I've seen that have Undertale. Apparently, Undertale is relatively big in Japan. For some reason, Japanese people like that game quite a lot, considering that, you know, doesn't have anything that you will immediately point and be like, yeah, this game definitely appeals to Japanese people. Well, it has the Sundar plane, which, yeah, I guess that's a very big Japanese reference, but pretty sure that Japanese people don't play that game just because of the Sundar plane. But yeah. You're playing Uparts 4 that came out today? Oh, I see. The Undertale is a game that is very original, so gotta give props to Toby Fox for that. So it feels that I'm... okay, never mind. I was gonna say I'm close to losing, but it seems that these things got rearranged for now. It seems that I'm still one movement away from losing, though. Like, one bad move and I'm out, but we will see. Here? I like how stoner this music is, though. Very, very stone music. I mean, it's more like that. It's the typical early 2000s stuff, well, or late 90s that you usually hear that is like futuristic music. That sort of music that kinda makes you imagine space or high technology stuff. Was pretty popular because a lot of people thought that the 2000s were gonna be an extreme technological revolution, and it was, but not in the way they imagined. The internet was basically the biggest revolution. I mean, it existed before the 2000s, but it wasn't extremely widespread. I went to the big number calculator and tried to get 10. Number too big? Well, yeah, that's a number too big, bro. Like any number that you elevate it to a power that is, you know, more than 4 digits long, it's gonna say that. I mean, try to do I think it's called factorial. Why don't you try to do the factorial of a big number? A factorial of 1,000, for example, and see what that does. Probably not a good idea, though. Those numbers, well, it's probably gonna tell you the same thing. Number too big. 1. I don't think that's a correct answer, but it's okay. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe the infinite numbers don't exist, and at some point you just look back to 1. You never know. Nobody has been able to see infinity after all. That's something that you wouldn't know, you know? I mean, that's the thing. Infinity is like the life after death. Nobody was able to see it. A lot of people can speculate what's in there, but they cannot tell you because no one was there. So the same applies to infinity. Nobody has seen infinity. Well, pretty much because it's an abstract concept that is impossible to see. But yeah. The real question is if infinity truly exists in the universe. A lot of people like to say that the universe is infinite, but the universe is only very big for us to measure. We have no way to prove it's infinite, you know? With numbers, it's a different story because numbers don't exist in nature. Numbers are a man-made creation. You can say that they are infinite, but that doesn't mean anything. They don't exist in nature. They are a concept. The universe is not a concept, though. The universe exists. So whether it's infinite or not, it has a specific answer. But we don't know what that answer is. And I don't think we will ever know that. But yeah. I mean, I don't know what it will even take for that to happen. Will you even measure the universe? I don't think it's possible. Or maybe, well, that's the thing. You don't know if it's possible or not. Until you reach the end of the universe, you wouldn't know. Thus, the universe has an end. I don't know. I mean, the more you think about this stuff, the more maddening it becomes. Like, it's very easy to think about all this very abstract stuff that we don't know much about, and eventually you start questioning the meaning of life. And that's not a good thing, believe it or not. If you start pondering that sort of stuff, it's very easy to realize that at the end of the day, from a universal scale, everything is pointless. But yeah, that's why you shouldn't focus on that. You should instead focus on what's tangible for you, on what you can perceive, what you can interact with. Everything else, space and all that corny shit, you can forget about that. I mean, you can study it and it can be cool, but I don't think it's very healthy to dwell on it from a theoretical standpoint for too long.
Excellent.
Live, procreate, and die. Well, that could be the purpose of life, yeah, but not necessarily. But yeah, regardless of that, even something like that will ultimately be pointless if you think of things on a universal scale, because you are like, well, if the universe is infinite, then there's probably an infinite amount of realities, and everything is pointless, you know, because anything that happens and anything that doesn't happen will eventually happen in an alternate reality. And what is that for if it's infinite? Because you will never reach anything, right? You could think like that, or you could think the other thing. Well, if it's not infinite, and there's nothing else to the universe other than life on Earth, and there is no life anywhere else, then what's the point? But yeah, that's why I say that you shouldn't focus on those things. Those things are worthless. They are poison for the mind. A lot of philosophers dedicate their lives to thinking about stuff like that, and obviously I guess they will have the mental preparation needed for that. But at the same time, I really do believe that it is mental poison. You shouldn't think about things like that. You can, but it's better to not do it. Or at least not by yourself. Like, if you think of something like that, I think it's better to talk to other people about that, to kind of like share what their ideas are, you know, maybe be able to see things from a different perspective. But yeah, I don't think thinking about those things by yourself is a good idea. It's very easy to go insane as well. So yeah, don't do that. Or I don't recommend it. You can do it if you want, but I don't recommend it. It's a bad idea. But yeah. Well, I mean, it's infinite just like this game is theoretically infinite. So that's the real question, is this game really infinite? Because the level counter... Wait, damn, I pull up here. I think I'm very close to game overing, by the way. Because I don't see any combination... Well, there is one more combination at least. But the fact that I don't see any combination means that there's probably only one remaining. And depending on how you pop that, you might be dead. So what am I not seeing here? Because if it hasn't told me game over, it means that there is another move, but where? What am I missing? Well, at least this is the first time that I actually get stuck. So okay, green is not. Okay, orange. It was orange. Okay, sometimes it's good to go slowly like this, but yeah, I'm very close to losing. Because I'm pretty sure that was the only move remaining at that point. It's getting rough. Thankfully I'm still surviving though. This game doesn't exist, it's just numbers, true. But yeah, I was out to say before I got distracted by the fact that I didn't find a move, that theoretically the game shouldn't have more than 99 levels, simply because there is not enough space in the counter. So is it really infinite? But maybe when you reach level 99, what happens is that it stops filling a bar and it just keeps going until you run out of moves, maybe. I don't know. And I definitely won't get there to know that. So yeah, I wouldn't expect it, personally. You never know. Damn, 420... and almost 42069, but since this game doesn't have numbers that are... Oh, well, you have numbers multiple of 5. I think that it's only 5 and 0, right? It probably is. I don't think you can get something like 53. I think it's either 5 or 0 and nothing else. Very close to greatness. I feel like I'm yet again running out of moves. Well, here. It will be very sad if I don't reach level 10. Something tells me that that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be just out of level 10. It will be very sad, but I think that it's the most likely scenario. We will see though. For now, we are still surviving. So yeah, we will see. And my atom? What atom? I will be very salty if I don't reach level 10 with how absurdly close I am to it. Okay, at least we got to level 10. At least well, actually that was level 10. My bad. We got to level 11. Good to know. I mean, I don't want to shinse it, but at this point, I thought I will do multiple runs in order to pad the stream. But in reality, right here, I think that only one run will be enough to pad the rest of the stream. With how much this run is lasting, that's pretty good. The smallest game in the world is called A Boy and His Atom. No, I didn't know that. So I wouldn't assume it to be very good. I do wonder what the size is. I mean, theoretically you could make a game. The thing is that it depends on what you call a game. You could call a game that is... Yeah, you're supposed to stare at this pixel. You just make the game one byte. One byte probably wouldn't be possible because you will have to execute it. That's, as I say, it depends. It will be a single image. An image that is one byte, that is just one pixel. Again, with all the bloat in modern systems, if you want it to be open as an image, you probably will need more than just that. You probably will need a header and stuff like that. Does Text Editor count as a game? Well, Dwarf Fortress counts as a game. I mean, it's not like it's Text Editor, but it's only ASCII art. Right? You just have characters drawing the game, essentially. There is a fun game that is just an image. It depends on what you consider a game. You know, what your standard for a game is. Very heavily depends on that. It's okay. Also, this was a very puzzle-charged stream. Starting with Puzzle Bubble and now Bejeweled. Though, I don't know if I should... Like, people consider this game puzzle games, but I don't think it's a very smart thing to call them puzzle games, because I feel like a puzzle game is a game where you need to think in order to beat it. This one, I think it's just smarter to call it Match 3. And yes, people say that Match 3 games are puzzle games. I feel like puzzle has to be something else. Puzzle will require thinking a lot. Match 3 games don't require you to think a lot for the most part. They are literally that, Match 3. You're supposed to match 3 of the same color and nothing more. So yeah. But yeah, I guess not many people, or pretty much nobody, doesn't consider this puzzle games, so I guess you just gotta call them puzzle games. But yeah. Match 3 is definitely way more descriptive and way more accurate as well. Why did I do that? Are you stoned? Now, something that I do remember when I played Bejeweled 3, I remember that when you ran out of moves, it was pretty much like a jump scare. Like the guy that was the narrator just all of a sudden says no moves left. And he said it very loud. Okay, here it just says no moves. Well, I got first place, pretty cool. Not like it's very hard to do. Of all time. Well, yeah, when the highest score is 1,000 points, I don't think that's very hard to reach, mister. But yeah, that was 40 minutes, so pretty cool. So yeah, I guess there's that. I guess I could try the... Because if you play, yeah, it just does another one. But there is a time trial mode. The time trial mode, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, you're constantly racing against the time. Though it also says level 1. Which makes me wonder if you're gonna change the level eventually, and what do you need to change the level? Because I don't know if it's filling out the bar, because the bar should only represent time. Yeah, okay, no. Alright, so it both represents the time and it represents also the... Okay. Gotcha. Oh, and this song is pretty cool. I mean, I wish I had this song instead in the previous one. I don't know if it's exclusive of time trial mode. Damn, that's pretty cool. That's such a cool song. But yeah. It's an interesting mode. I will say that it's more engaging than the other one. Though I don't know if you can run out of moves here. That's the question. Can you run out of moves? I don't know. Because in theory, what you should look out to not run out of is time. I wonder if running out of moves is also possible. Well, I also don't know how the narrator in Bejeweled 3 says it in English, that you're out of moves. Because back when I played it in Spanish. So I don't know what the English announcer will say. But yeah. At least in this game it's not that much of a jump scare when you run out of moves. And I legitimately don't know... Wait, what am I missing here? And I cannot dwell on this for too long. Oh, here. Okay. The longer you take, the longer it will take you to go to the next level. That's for sure, without a doubt. So theoretically, that means that you could stay in a single level for a very long time, right? I guess having a time limit does make it a lot harder to look at combinations, since you know you need to be fast, and it's a lot easier to get your mind completely blocked while doing that. It's also worth noting that the bar gets filled a lot faster when you do combos instead of doing regular combinations, right? If you do multiple combinations in a row, it definitely makes the bar grow quite a lot. But I'm pretty sure that's also the case in the normal mode, so yeah. Probably doesn't change much. Here? Oh. Yeah. Okay, so when you run out of moves, they get replaced in this mode. So I guess this one is closer to endless than the other one. So I wonder if at some point the time is gonna go down fast enough that it's impossible to keep up even if you constantly do combinations, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I know that Bejeweled 3 has a mode that they call it the Zen mode, where it's literally impossible to lose. So it basically goes on forever. You can leave the game and come back and keep going, and you can be like level 1000 or something and it still keeps going. I do wonder what's the limit though. I mean, eventually it will have to end, but I don't know when it does that, you know? But yeah, I don't know. There is also another interesting piece of information that I didn't know. So you will think that Bejeweled 3 comes after Bejeweled 2. But that's actually not the case. Bejeweled 2, it's Bejeweled 1, 2, and then comes Twist, and then Bejeweled 3. At least for what I understand, that's the order of release. But yeah, Bejeweled 3 is basically the game that everyone plays. Well, nowadays people are playing Candy Crush instead. That's mostly because PopCap is dead. Otherwise there will be a mobile version of that. I'm not seeing the combination, damn it. I think I might lose here because I really don't see it. Oh, you can ask for a hint, but isn't... No, that will be cheating. But, I mean, I guess I could. No, there it is. And that was the only combination, so the fact that I struggle makes sense. But wait, that's a little bit weird that it lets you ask for hints in this mode, I mean. Because in the other mode you can run out of moves and you lose. But here, theoretically, you can constantly click in hint and basically play forever. So that's a little bit weird. But yeah. Create rows of 4 or 5 gems for extra points. I know, I am aware. But yeah, well, at least that was a cool experience, you know. But yeah, as you can see, this is a game that is endless. There is not really a way to beat it. So I guess the closest you will have to doing something like that is like playing with someone else and see who gets further. But then again, without the same seed, it will be a little bit unfair, I guess. But yeah, at least that was the first visual, so there's that. So yeah, I think that will be it for me for today. So thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one and take care.